Hey guys, just doing a quick sound check. Just let me know if you can hear me, and then we should be good to go. No sound? Sound good? Hey Chris, hey David. Nice to see you folks here. Yeah, I know people are saying hello. Is my sound working? That's all I need to know first. Ha, Sniper, you're here. The usual hello and bye. Okay, sweet as. All right, let's get going, folks. So I think just want to apologize for this particular series because I think when was the last time I did this? Jeez, it's almost been a month since I did part 6. It's been a bit hectic the last month, just with me traveling and everything like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish off this probability series. So if you are joining for the first time, I would recommend watching the 6 parts before jumping onto the part 7, just because otherwise it might feel a little bit too much if you just start kind of coming in halfway. Now, today the main focus is we'll be looking at normal distribution again. But in normal distribution, what we're going to be looking at is, let me just put that down here. So this is when we have to find the mean, and I think the standard deviation comes up next after this. But yeah, basically the questions today are going to be about finding the mean given the probability and all the other stuff that comes along with it. So we're going to get started, and I'm just going to see if I can find a previous kind of, yeah, that was inverse probabilities. I just want to see if I can find a quick question that we can just kind of get on with it. Okay, so we're going to do a quick example here. So the example is going to be something like this, for example. So let's just kind of put it up here. So let's say we've got a normal distribution graph, and we've got this value here is going to be, I don't know, let's just go 40, for example. And then I am going to say that this part here this part here is equal to 0.32. And I'm going to tell you what the standard deviation is. So standard deviation is, geez, I should probably do this. Let's go standard deviation of, not 5. Let's go standard deviation of 3. All right. And we'll be asked to figure out what the mean is. Yeah, it should be fun, DPC. So to do a problem like this, and I've kind of just given you guys a very rough draft of it, and then what we'll do is we'll do a bunch of word questions and see if I can find any questions from the exams that we could potentially do. So what I'm going to say is that this right here, which is the mean, that's actually in the middle. Oh, my dog's gonna go crazy. Sorry. Cat. Okay, so welcome to my life in the nighttime. I try to sleep and this guy's just barking away. I'm gonna go get him. It's all right. Sorry guys, I'll be right back. You get him? Thank you. All right. So we know that we've got this value between 0 and x to 40 is equal to 0.32. So we know this for a fact. Now, the first step we need to figure out is the z value itself. So we've got to figure out what this z value here is going to be. So we need to figure out inverse, do some inverse normal first. Now, if you don't have a graphics calculator and you have you're depending on the tables, then I think you're going to have to use the normal distribution table, which is here. And what you need to do is you need to go and look for 0.32. So now this is one of my old notes here, but we can still use it. So to look for 0.32 roughly is somewhere here. So we've got 0.3186 and then the 13 there. So really we're looking for 0.9, 0.91 and 0.915. So that is roughly the Z value that we should actually have. Now you don't like, you know, and the thing is, I'm actually doing this with the table. But if you do have a graphics calculator, then you can simply just do that. Go into stat mode there, and you go into distributions, normal, and then we're going to go inverse normal. And notice how this says tail left and right, so on. So this is something that I know I talked about it in part 6 of this series. So if you actually go back to part 6, you can actually have a look through it just to see how I did these things. But we're going to go right side here. So I'm going to go right side. Actually, no, I'm going to go left side. But with the left side, if I was to do the left side for this, then I actually have to cover 0.5 plus the 0.32. So I need to actually put that as 0.82 as the area. The standard deviation, I'm still going to leave it as 1 and the mean as 1, because what I'm trying to find is the Z value. So standard deviation is 1 and mean is 0. So when I find this, as you guys can see, I'm getting that 0.915. Now that's what I got in the table before. Was it in part 4? Yeah, see, I showed you that we've got 0.915. So that is the Z value. So then we take the formula itself. So our Z formula is like Z is equal to, is it X minus mu? Yeah, it's X minus the mean over standard deviation. Now we figured out what the Z value is, because the Z value we found out to be is 0.915. So we're going to put 0.915 here. X is equal to 40. The mean, we don't know what the mean is, so we're just going to leave it as it is. And standard deviation is actually equal to 3. Now, if you are comfortable doing this, you know, rearranging with algebra, which I will show you, and I'll also show you how to do this in the calculator as well. So you kind of have both methods to go with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 3 to the other side, and it's going to become 0.915 multiplied by 3, and then that's equal to 40 minus the mean. So in my calculator, I have 0.915 multiplied by 3. So that's equal to 2.745, and that's 40 minus the mean. So I've got the negative, well, 40 comes down to this side, it actually becomes minus 40. So I'm going to get minus 40 plus 2.745. So minus 40. So that's going to give me an answer of negative 37.255 equals negative mean, which means the mean is equal to 37.255. Now let's say you want to actually you want to do this for in the calculator. In the calculator, what you can do is you can go straight into equation, and you can just chuck on solver, and you can put the whole thing in there. So you can go 0.915 is equal to, so you just go shift and point, that gives you the equals, and then put in a bracket, you just go 40 minus, we can use X in this case, and then that's divided by 3. So when you press all of that, click on solve, and as you can see, that gives you 37.255. Now you can actually use this in the exams, but this is pretty much, this is usually a merit or an excellence question. All right, so you guys have to understand, it's actually not too crazy. I mean, they only have a set of standard normal distribution questions they could ask. They'll ask you to find either mean or standard deviation as part of one of them. That's usually definitely a merit or an excellence type of questions. All right, so in this case, we can just say that the mean is equal to 37.255, and we're pretty much done with this. I said, do you think level 3 stats is easy to get E when I'm dedicated enough to work? I think Q-Hans, if you're dedicated enough to work, you can pretty much achieve whatever you want, man. Like, yeah, you don't have to set the bar so low at excellence and stats. Hello, get out, JK. We're cooked for marks. I don't think you are. I think, look, this is all like, I think you can, if you watch the first 6 parts, I reckon you can easily get an achieved. From this point onwards, we'll be looking at like merit and excellence questions. So, am I going to cover histograms? Probably not, Abdiraham. I think normal distribution is the one that I cover. That and I've got to do risk. That's basically it. Jane, yeah. Once I figure out my schedule for next week, I will upload the tutorial like I've done in the corner there. I'll do that for next week on Sunday night. All right, so what we'll do is we will do a couple of questions just to see how you guys are actually going. Now, what I'll do is I'll actually leave this here, and I'm going to give you a similar question to try. You try a similar question, and then we'll actually go to word problems, all right? So this is going to be example number 2. All right, so I'm going to leave that question out for you guys. Just give it a go and see what you get, and then we'll go from there. Hudson, you can see at the bottom of the stream there, bottom right corner of the stream. And it's usually up on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, all the socials, it's there. Yeah, Akib, I think if you think the calc and algebra one is good, I haven't finished the probability playlist yet, and that's what we're working on right now. So I reckon if you watch the first 6, you'll easily get at least a merit, man. Like I think there's enough material in there to get a merit. I'll give you folks maybe a 2 to 3 minutes to do this question, and then we'll go through the answer together, and then we'll actually do some practice questions, and then we'll do some exam type questions, so that you can kind of see how it's actually not too bad. I just need to find the exam questions. Level 2 probability. Did I do any of the last year? I'm trying to think. Yeah, definitely there was a question last year where you had to find the mean or standard deviation, and then it ended up being a merit question. And like if you do a merit question, that's 5 points right there. And then you can answer like a couple of questions. Easy to pass probability in my opinion. So oh, that's awesome to hear, Jane. I think I need to get some reviews for you guys because I mean technically I've set up courses there without even realizing it, but like Giorno, I think it depends on what you feel confident in. Like to be honest, if I was in your position, like I don't mind switching between papers, but you might be the type of person where you might like to spend just 1 hour on your paper first before moving to another paper. If that's the case, I would say, pick the one that you're confident in, so that you get. Actually, no, I wouldn't even say that. I would actually say read both the papers first, because you might go in thinking calculus is easy, and then you read the paper and you go, oh man, the paper is hard, and you might actually get cold feet. So what's really a good strategy is to read both the papers and then go, which one you should approach first, depending on what makes it easy for you. Because what you don't want to do is like do all the hard questions first and then start panicking that you're running out of time. All right, so let's go through this question here. So our first step in this is to figure out the Z value. Sniper, I mean, again, it depends on your confidence level, right? Like, I remember there was a kid that I had a few, actually, no, the last decade, I think that was the last time I taught NCEA maths. I had a kid that actually, we came up with a plan that you look at an excellence question and you go, well, can I do this excellence question in 10 minutes? If I can't do the excellence question in 10 minutes, then I go and do the 2 merit questions to make sure I get the maximum 6 points from that question 1. That's the strategy that we actually used. Akib, yeah, that sounds like a very familiar problem. Very familiar problem that I've seen so many kids do. Hey, look, let's actually get through this one. Let's find the Z value first. So to find the Z value, I'm gonna do the calculator first because I know it's nice and simple. If you don't have a calculator, like I said, you've got to use the tables, which is a little bit longer, still can work. So go into distributions, go to normal, go to inverse, and I'm gonna go with the, see the left tail is gonna be 0.73. So if I was to go to the left tail, that's this part here, which is equal to 0.73. But if I decide to go to the right tail, then that's going to be 0.27. So let's actually try 0.27. And I'm going to change that to right. And there is my Z value, which is 0.612 or 613. So my Z value is equal to 0.613. So then I've got Z is equal to X minus the mean over standard deviation. So I've got 0.613 equals 720 minus the mean divided by 85. All right, and again, I'm just gonna use the calculator for this one, but I'll show you guys both again. So I'm gonna go 0.613, shift decimal equals, then I'm gonna go 720 minus the X divided by 85. So that's gonna give me a mean of 667.895. Now I just want to kind of double check that. So if I cross multiply here, 0.613 times 85 equals 720, take away mu, so what am I going to get here? So 613 times 85, that's going to give me 52.105. 720 take away mean, so negative mu is equal to 52.105 minus 720, and that's going to give me a negative, so negative 667.895 is negative mu, so then the mean is equal to 667.895. Hey Adam. I think, Min, for histograms, if you do get that, right, like if you do get a histogram and they ask you to compare it with normal distribution, as long as it's symmetrical, that's the big one with normal distribution. So you want to have it some sort of symmetry. If it's not symmetrical, then you could almost say that this is probably not normal distribution, because with normal distribution, you generally have to have like a symmetrical graph. So you could almost say, like, if you have a histogram, you can kind of find the midpoint, and then you can just put like a little dotted line just to see if they're symmetrical on both sides. That's a kind of like a good starting point there. All right, now I need to grab a couple of questions for you folks. All right, let's try a couple of these questions. I'm going to see, give me another one. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to try this question, and if you're comfortable, throw the answers up on the chat. Min, nah, these ones generally, I think I just checked 2024 paper. They asked for a standard deviation question, and I think they gave you a merit for that. So I would say this is probably just definitely a merit, unless they kind of make you do like a simultaneous equations. You're welcome, Conquistor. It's not a problem at all. There's been a request for probability level 3 in 15-hour playlist, and I don't know, I just haven't had the time. And plus I'm nervous about doing probability level 3 because it's like I know I'm going to make so many mistakes in that. But you know what? Maybe I should just stuff it and just do it. All right, guys, I'll give you one more minute and then we'll go through this answer, yeah? Matilda, I would definitely recommend the algebra in 15 hours over the playlist. The playlist was something that I did for my class because we were, you know, doing... Ooh, what happened there? No, my light. Oh, just switched it off by mistake. Yeah, I definitely recommend the 15-hour playlist. Anyway, let's go through this one here. So if in doubt, I always suggest this, draw a diagram because it always helps you. So here, I'm just going to draw a rough sketch here. So we've got lifespan of battery normally distributed with standard deviation of 15 hours. Oof, that is an awful pen. And they got probability the battery lasts longer than 120 hours is 0.0668. Okay, so we've got to figure out where we want to actually, where we actually want to put this. And I think we're going to have to put it here, 120, because the probability that it lasts longer than 120 hours is 0.06. So we can't actually have it before the middle line because otherwise that'll be over 50%. So this part right here, this is actually worth 0.0668. All right, and then the question is find the mean. Matilda, yeah, I haven't actually finished the playlist for that one because I started it like 8 years ago and I stopped teaching that for my class, so I only did it up to a certain point. But, you know, like, yeah, there's some handy stuff in there, but I think the level 2 algebra playlist will definitely cover you for all the exams. I've been meaning to redo that one with the newer exams, just like an extension version of it. But again, time is always the funny one. All right, let's do this one. So we've got to figure out what the Z value is first. So the Z value, we want to figure out what the 0.668 translates into. So I'm going to go into menu and I'm going to go into my stat mode, distributions, normal, inverse. So it is my right side. And the probability is 0.0668. So when I do this, I'm actually getting a Z value of 1.5. So if my Z value is 1.5, then the formula is going to be, before I do that, let me just check something. Just want to paste the next question so that we don't have to. Just getting ready for the next question so that we don't have to wait. All right, so what do we got? We've got probability. So we've got Z is equal to X minus the mean over standard deviation. So Z is equal to 1.5, X is equal to 120 minus the mean over standard deviation, which happens to be 15. So cross multiplying, we're going to get 1.5 times 15 equals 120, take away mu, so that's going to be 22.5 equals 120 minus mu. So negative mu is equal to 22.5 minus 120. I think that's roughly 98.5. Negative 98.5 is equal to negative mu. So mu is equal to 98.5. So the mean should be 98.5. But let's check it out anyway. So we're going to go into menu, go into equation mode, solver, and we're going to punch this in. So we've got 1.5 is equal to, and inside the bracket we've got 120 minus X, close bracket, and that's divided by 15. And there we go. Our 97. Oh yeah, sorry, 97, not 98. That's my bad. Can't believe none of you guys picked that up. 97.5 was the answer that we're looking for. Now this one, yes, this is a merit question, by the way. That's why I'm like spending a bit of time doing this. Matter how many decimal places for probability and the Z value, by the way. So for Z value, I would say go to like maybe 3 decimal places, unless it's fairly obvious. Like in the previous one with the 1.5, like I chose 1.5 because if I look at the distribution, hang on, let me just open up that. So if I look at, like, I usually go up to 3 decimal places for Z value. And the reason I go to 3 decimal places for Z value is because in your normal distribution table, it actually goes up to 3 decimal places. Now for probability, I would, especially when I'm working with normal distribution, I like to go with like 4 decimal places. Just because, again, that's what the table gives you. So you can be pretty much safe with that. Let me know if there's any questions with this one. And I've got one more question and then we'll just go straight into exam questions after that. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we can jump on to the next one. Check out an emoji, guys, if you want to jump to the next question so that I can actually just move on. Hudson, great question, Hudson. Like I would say show them this part, show them this part, even show them this part, and then you can show the last bit. So you can kind of show the marker that you actually know what you're doing. So, but you don't need to show all that little working out that I've done from like those 4 lines that I haven't highlighted. But the parts that I would definitely show the marker is those 4 things. I mean, you could even skip out this line here. Like you wouldn't need this one, but those 3 things we definitely need to know. So when do we use the right and left one? Okay. So it doesn't, what is this? Mitu, it doesn't matter whether you use right or left. What matters is you put the right probability. All right. So let me show you what I mean by. In this case, I did the right one. But if I have the same graph there, and notice how this is actually 0.0668. So then this is going to be 2339. Is it? I could be wrong. 9332. Yeah. So this 9332 is going to be this entire orange part there. So if you go into inverse normal, right? So notice how I put right as 0.0668. If I go with the left, then I can actually put down 0.9332 and I should get the same 1.5. So it wouldn't matter which side you choose as long as you have the right probability. My teacher says also, yes, actually a good point. 100% I would actually have the graph. I mean, that's a given. I I would need the graph to actually to get to this part. So I kind of thought it would be a given that you would need to have the graph in there as well. All right, let's do one more question, practice one. And then I've got a couple of exam questions, getting exam questions ready for you guys. So try this one here. And again, Kutapan, if you can actually draw a diagram, definitely helps you a lot with it. And by the way, these questions that pop up every now and then, they sometimes come as like question 1C or 1D. So they're not really, sometimes they won't be connected to the previous question. So even if you get the A and B wrong, you can still get 5 points by answering these types of questions here. Conquestor, the part that'll be helpful is, I mean, it depends, right? Like if you're doing level 3 probability, I think videos 4, 5, 6, 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5 is handy in this playlist, or maybe even 2, 3. But if you're doing distributions, you definitely it would help you to do this playlist. So in level 3, if you're doing any of the externals, this playlist would be handy. It builds up from level 2. All right, I'm going to do this question here, and then we'll go through the exam questions, all right? So, Kutapan, I think you are asking whether I go left or right. It all depends on the diagram. So in this particular diagram, I'm going to sketch it out. So there's my normal curve. Standard deviation is 8. Now it says if 10% of the plants are taller than 150 centimeters, so because 10% of the plants are taller than 150, this 10% is actually going to be here. So our first step is to find the Z value when that's 10%. So I'm just going to exit here, and I'm going to go, like again, if I go left side, I would need to make this 0.9. And that's equal to 1.28. I guess you can go 2. But if I had decided to go with the right side, I would actually put this as 0.1. And notice how it's the same value. Now, sometimes you can be a bit cheeky. You can actually go center as well. But for central, you need to actually put this as 0.8. And the reason you put it as 0.8 is because it's 0.4 here and 0.4 there. So that's like the central, which is 0.8. And if you look at the values, you'd get 2 values. Oh, hang on. What have I done here? Sorry, that's got to be 1. And central area is 0.8. And that'll give you both the negative and positive values of it. So this is 1.282. This is negative 1.282. So it's a bit handy, like if you're having like central stuff that you need to work on. But for us, we're only looking for the Z, which is 1.282. So we've got 1.282 equals X minus the mean over standard deviation. So 1.282 equals 150. Take away the mean, divided by standard deviation, which happens to be 8. So cross multiply it. We got 8 times 1.282 equals 150 minus mu. I'm going to do it this way. You can also do it like this. So the mean is equal to 150. Take away 8 times 1.282. So just another faster way to do this so that you save a little bit of time there. So I'm going to go 150, take away 8 times 1.282. And I should get a mean of 139.744. All right, let me know if that's all right, and then we'll actually jump on to the next question. Muzz, this is nothing. I've actually, during exam time, it can peak. Like the most I had was 961s, which was crazy. All right, folks, let me know if you're okay. I just realized that I probably need to give you one more question, but this is not finding the mean, but actually finding the standard deviation. Chuck a thumbs, like throw up an emoji if you're comfortable with this, and we can move on to the next question. Cool. I saw one there. That's good enough. Let's move on to the next one. All right. So the next one, which is the other variety, they give you the mean, but they actually ask you to find the standard deviation. So what I might get you folks to do is I'm going to give you about 3 to 4 minutes. Try this question, and then this is the last practice question before we head to the exam questions. So try this one, 3 minutes, and then we'll go through the exam ones, and I'll see if I can find another couple more. So nothing changes, guys. The only thing is the standard deviation changes this time. So your calculation should be a little bit faster, but we'll give it a go. Now 30 seconds, and at 8:39 I'll go through the answer, yeah? All right, so drawing the graph first. Just let's get that out of the way first. Standard deviation is what we're trying to figure out. We know the mean. The mean is 180. And it says if 5% of the apples weigh more than 200 grams. Now, if this is 180, 200 is going to be somewhere here. And we've got the 5% of apples, which is this part here. So the first thing, again, we need to find the Z value for 0.05. So two ways you can do this. So you could actually go right tail as 0.05 or left tail as 0.95. So it wouldn't matter which one you go. You should be good with either. So I'm going to go with whatever's in there previously, so I don't have to press the same things. Of course I did central. All right, let's go right. Right it is. And then we're going to go area is going to be 0.05. And there is our Z value. So our Z value is equal to 1.645. So with that in mind, we can actually say Z equals to X minus the mean over standard deviation. So we got 1.645 equals X, which is 200, minus 180 divided by standard deviation. Now this one's a lot easier to do because we can just cross multiply and just rewrite this as 200 minus 180 divided by 1.645. So on my calculator, I just go 20 because 200 minus 180 is 20. 20 divided by 1.645. And that gives me a standard deviation of 12.1 0.16. If there's any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, chuck an emoji to say, yep, that's all good. Let's go to the exam questions and start hitting those merit questions. Perfect. Okay. Sweet. That's good to know, guys. All right. So these questions, this is actually from last year's exam paper. This question here, it was worth the merit. The only thing I'm going to tell you guys is give it a go. Let's see how far you go with this question to see if you can get a merit question under your belt. So this one was from 2024, and the next question is from 2023. And I think I'm just trying to look at every year to see if they have a similar type of question. Wow, in 2022 these questions were excellent. Maz, look, to be honest, it's slightly different for me because I do this because I actually feel it actually feels nice to help people, so that's all it is. Yeah, I know, Ben. That's what I remember when I used to do this with my guys. I used to say like I'd actually just teach them this, and you get like 6 or 7 points from these questions, and you pretty much that's all you need to know. Like I had like some kids go, I don't know anything. I said like just look for normal distribution and look for the finding mean and standard deviation questions. Hey Noodles, did your t-shirt arrive, Noodles? Yeah, I had a message from Terry Wu from Rangitoto said that his t-shirt arrived today. So, oh no, it's Snap. I still don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Elise or Ellis? Elise? I think I apologized last time about pronouncing your name wrong. All right, let's see how you folks went with this question, all right? Because I think, like I said, the Ellis was the first one, wasn't it? Oh, damn it. So it's Elise. Elise? I have to get this name right. It's so hard to figure out this. Yeah. No, she's. I think Elise is gone. Sweet Noodles, thanks, man. All right, so this question here, we're going to sketch it out here. So we've got blah, blah, blah. Mean was 8.1 hours. So that's going to be 8.1. Now it says 5% of the students aged spent less than 0.5 on the physical activity each week. So this is 0.5 hours. Now this is the important part. You can't put that as 30 because 30 is actually minutes. And they kind of give you the clue there as well. And then this part here is going to be 5%. So it's going to be 0.05. So usual step, find the Z value first. So with the Z value, a alligator and the Elise isn't fleece. Alice. Wait, what? Wait, it's said Alice, but it's pronounced like that? Wow, I've learned something new today. All right, so back to finding our Z value. So we're going to go into our stat mode, distribution, normal. What? I keep getting it wrong. Okay, this is just, no, we're not doing this. What do I got? Left tail. Wait, let me just finish this question first. Left tail, and then area is going to be 0.05. So our Z value is negative 1.645. So if this is what am I doing? Z equals X minus the mean over standard deviation. So we got negative 6.45 equals X, which is 0.5, minus the mean, which is 8.1, divided by standard deviation. So rearranging it, standard deviation is 0.5 minus 8.1 divided by 1.645. We're still trying to figure out that name. So we've got 0.5 minus 8.1. That's equal to negative 7.6 divided by negative 1.645. All right, there we go. This is our standard deviation. Grades wise, this is last year, by the way. This is last year. If you got this, looks like a merit question right there. The E is like alligator, so and the lis is like lease, Alice, oh, Alice, not Alice, Alice. All right, Noodles, don't worry about it. I've got all the tracking numbers here with me. I sent it on Sunday, so they would have probably picked it up on Monday. They'll probably deliver, man. Don't stress. It's on the way. All right, let me know if you folks are okay with this. I've got one more question for you to try and do. Is it one or two? Let me just check. Yeah, one last question to do. If we're good, chuck us a thumb, an emoji, just to say, yep, that's all good, and we can go to the next one. Nah, Noodles, don't stress. If it doesn't arrive, like, you know, just... I mean, I have got the tracking number. I usually track it. I mean, I never had a lost package. NZ Post has got a 100% delivery rate for me, which is impressive. I missed the... I'm assuming we're good. I reckon we can move on. Yes? No worries, Sniper. We're just doing the last question and then we're going to be done. All right, folks. This is the last question for the night. Again, this one is, I think this was worth a merit as well, I believe, 2023. Oh, this was one of those double questions where if you got the previous question and this one, you can actually get an E2 for it. Wow, that's insane. But I'll let you do this. I'll give you 3 minutes to try it out, and then we'll go through the answer. All right, just give me a second, Noodles. Let me just find out where your parcel is. By the way, folks, just remember, tomorrow we're doing a giveaway. I've actually come up with a very cool ad campaign for the t-shirts, which I probably should make it, but being a bit slack again. All right, no, Sarov, where was it? Oh man, can I see this code? I think I've got it. 07 NZ Post. What? It was okay, here's what we have, Noodles. It's processed at depot. It's still in Viri at the moment. Estimated delivery was on 27th of August, which is today. Should have come today, but probably going to come tomorrow, mate. All right, folks, let's do this last question, and then we'll call it a night. That's good practice for today for these merit questions. So sketching a diagram first. Mean of 114. Now it says 12% of New Zealand youths who do not watch TV watch, more than 150. So 150 is going to be here. And 12% is going to be here. So that's going to be 0.12 right there. Oh no, you're slowing down. Why? So the usual steps, find the Z value first. So we're going to work out what the Z value is. Let's go stat mode, distributions, normal, inverse, and I'm going to go right side for the tail. 0.12 for the area. All right, so that's going to give me Z value of 1.175. Then I've got Z equals X minus mu over standard deviation. You know what, I'm going to do this. Standard deviation is equal to X minus mu over Z. So X is equal to 150, take away 114, divided by 1.175. So 150 take away 114, that's 36, divided by 1.175. That's going to give me a standard deviation of 30.6 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, that is probably another easy merit right there. All right, folks, that's pretty much it for today. I think, what did I cover today? So what's next on my list of things to cover? So covered Z to calculate mean, we've done that. Z to calculate standard deviation, done that. Mixing it up, yeah, whatever, done that. Mixed normal distributions. Okay, well, I'm just trying to look what else is next, because I've done probability trees. Oh, tables. Oh, did I do tables yet? I need to check, did I do tables yet? That's your basic probability. Nah, I think I just did probability trees. Okay, so I guess what's going to come next is we're going to be doing probability from tables, whatever that's called. Yeah, probability tables. That's what we're going to be looking at next in the next session. So keep an eye on the chat, not chat, the histogram. I think it's going to come soon, the histogram, because I don't know, where did I, in my notes, I have probability trees, and then, hang on, let me just go right to the beginning. Probability, frequency, tables are probability, creating your own table, absolute risk. Yeah, see, describing graphs of distributions. Okay, yeah, all right, fine. Just for you, Muz, we'll chuck it up at the beginning, all right? Not the beginning, at probably episode 10 or 11, we'll do that. Nah, easy. That's not a problem, folks. I think it's, you know, I think it's good fun. It's good fun to do these things. You're welcome, Chris. Easy, Hudson. So yeah, guys, don't forget tomorrow. I think I put 7:45. It might be 7:30. I need to double check, because that's the next August t-shirt giveaway. So at least I got your name right this time. I got your name right. Discriminant questions. Yogurt, yes. Go have a look at the algebra live tutorials. And I'm sure in the live tutorials, I spent a lot of time in the past going through discriminant questions. I'm not talking about the 15-hour playlist, but the old, let me see if I can just grab the link for you. Where is it? Add source. Where should I put it? Give me 1 second, people, and let me just find the source. depressing times. My fantasy team, they let me down. All right, where are we at? Sorry, I know I'm kind of like put myself in the front here. So for discriminant videos, where you want to go is here. These ones here. There's like 45 odd play videos there, but there you go. There's some discriminants there. So that's purely focused on discriminants. And I think if you go down, some of them I labeled it, so you can kind of see there's more discriminants videos there. But some of them I just kind of did them randomly, so you might need to go through the revision material just to see what they are. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get time to go back and label all of those. Hudson, yes, there is a Google form to fill out. It just makes it easy for me to keep track of, like, if I, like, last time we had a winner that didn't send me their details, and I emailed them and I said, hey, you got a t-shirt, do you want me to send it or not? And they were like, no response. So what am I supposed to do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that, because I've got this t-shirt waiting for them. It's just the histograms. You're obsessed with the histograms, Buzz. Let me just check. When am I doing our next thing? Oh, schedule for 7:30 tomorrow. Yeah, 7:30 tomorrow. All right, folks. Take care. Hudson, you can find it on the. Hang on, let me just share that link. Where is it? Live. So that's the link to the live for tomorrow, but there's a form there that you need to fill up, and it's on the chat. It's pinned to the chat. Nah, man, it's all fair and square, Noodles. You win it a second time, you get a second t-shirt. I mean, there's still the gold one. I think, which one did you get, Noodles? Did you get the hologram one or the white one? You gotta collect, man. You've gotta collect. There's the gold one. There's the Christmas edition one, which only comes out during Christmas. Even I don't have the Christmas edition. I think DPC has it. There's only a few people that have that Christmas edition t-shirt. Maybe I should release one for Halloween, like with like a little, I don't know, like a pumpkin around. Oh, so you got the hollow one. Okay, yeah. So then you go for the classic white one or the gold one. So hey, there's always stuff to be there. Yeah, get the whole merchandise while you're at it. All right, team. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:30. Should be fun. As always, fun doing the giveaways. Yeah, all right. Till then, take care, and I'll catch you guys later. And as always, thank you for watching.